My name is Sara Elfsson. I live in Stockholm. I'm 48 years old. I have a bachelor in mechanical engineering from KTH in Sweden. And I have during many years of working since before I took the Executive MBA, I took a lot of different courses through my professional career. I have worked, as I said, in multiple different type of companies, both large OEMs as well as startups. And when I applied for the school, I was working at a big American company with M&A. And as a mechanical engineer, I felt the need to further develop my skill sets within accounting and financing that I never really pursued. So for me, it was that was the key reasons. On the other side, I also really enjoyed going back to school and also hearing more about the other topics that I probably were more up to date with from a business perspective, to also hear about the academia side. I looked at the various schools and I was really interested in international atmosphere, since that was also something that I also have in my daily work. For me, it was also about the proximity, to be honest, because I was traveling a lot of work. So I wanted to have something that wasn't too far away. I didn't know at that time, but it also was a really great way of building network within my home region. So that was also really interesting and good in my sort of private life setup. It's not a coincidence that SSE has a focus on ESG or sustainability topics. Sweden, I think Scandinavia in general, has been really holding a flag up high when it comes to those topics. And I also see that big OEMs that I work with partly have also early on adapted to these areas, both when it comes to environmental or other ESG areas. So I think from without knowing, of course, because I'm not part of the staff, I could understand that this is something also that was very important, I guess, from the school also, because it gives them a opportunity to also further enhance sort of the setup and within the region we are in. And but I also think that SSE took this topic also to a new level to me. I mean, I've been very exposed to this versus with big companies and the requests and the measurements and the KPIs they put on their suppliers and their customers. But from SSE, I thought they took it to a new level of making it a good business, not only for today, but also a future-proof business. And making that part of a package was very attractive. And actually, it was a topic I was interested in, but also were very pressured by. I worked for the company with a lot of different production facilities in around the world. And this really helped me also taking this sustainability topic to a new level and a better discussion. And how did that impact so I moved to Northvolt 4 years ago. And how did that impact I think also Northvolt is an amazing example of how you took sustainability to become part of your unique USB. And that instead, there's a lot of cell manufacturers out in the world that are really good, but when they build and formed the company, they thought about all angles of sustainability, both producing cells with renewable energy, but also with the recycling of the raw materials, which is also so important. So when we go into electrify a vehicle, which is the main market we're acting in, it is not a greenwashing way. It is for real a better alternative than using gasoline, which you cannot reuse and you cannot. So I think there is Northvolt did a really great pitch on this, and actually it's not a pitch, it's like the whole it's a DNA of the company, and it is very unique, I think. And I think the SSE really made me see this in another way. So today we produce and develop cells and systems for automotive, but also for industrial and ESS market. It has been a huge drive both from governments and others of how this will develop and how we get electrification into our everyday. And I think when Northvolt started, that was two guys coming from Tesla. And they have seen how it's been transferring in their world, and how to make that also, take that thought into Europe and even make it more sustainability friendly. And what we have seen since they started 6 years ago, they built it now, we're a company of over 4,000 people. We can see now the uniqueness of this. And in addition to that, you can also say, yes, there have been other things going on, like the trade war, which is also further impacting regionalization, which is also part of Northvolt's to finding local supply chain and making sure. And there's also been a lot of restrictions and laws and incentive package, both on end user products, but also for production. You can see that now for North America even more. You can see that these things are going, and a lot of these topics we stay very relevant, and I think a lot of that because the uniqueness of the company of having this sustainability footprint and making the greenest battery in the world as a true vision for the company is making it so relevant. And I think that is also why they've been so successful, or why we have been so successful building this brand. So I think that is, I think it's future-proofing, and we can see also that many of our competitors are also adapting towards the same sort of path. Since I was quite weak on the accounting and financing, today at Northvolt and also with other companies I worked with, we are also not only, I work with, I'm a sales and business director, but I'm a part of selling hardware of different kinds. We're also building companies. We're also looking at how we finance the companies, how we do get return of investments, how we make the most out for our shareholders. And I think that are probably the ones that are standing up the most for me, probably also because that was my weakest areas. There was a lot of other areas as well that I think also on the strategy side or the coaching, which was also very helpful and gave me time also to reflect on my own skill sets and leadership that I've used a lot, but those are more probably were part of my skills before, but not maybe in the same way, and has improved. I worked with M&A, acquiring companies at the time when I applied, and then I choose finance and accounting as my elective. So those were easy choices, and I have to say the professors were really outstanding, very interesting. We have had quite simple models. You also get to test things out and using practice cases that were not too far away from my own everyday life. So it's very easy for me to totally adapt these topics into my work. So that was super helpful and very interesting. As an engineer background, we look at it and the MBA process also from engineering point, and I will continue to do that. But those two was very complementary to my everyday. you get a lot of time to reflect on your own leadership styles in the class, and you get a lot of feedback, which was super helpful. I do believe that I'm a better active listener and giving less advices, even though that comes easy to do in stressful times still. But I also think I got a lot of encourage of also using my own personality and develop and be true to who you are, which was also a good sort of check in the box of how you are as not only as a leader and a manager, but also as a person in the company. And I think that is also something that I try to think of about the energy and the what are my unique selling points, and how could I help my team to further improve and not take that down. I think that was very helpful. And the time also, you don't usually get time to reflect on these topics. So it was a great experience. I want to say also that I probably should have used that even more, or I still can use it even more. And today I also see that some of my former classmates are either potential customers to us or so, but it has generated some business opportunities, absolutely. But the most important, I think, is the network of friends and people who are helping you, juggling and challenging you for your key decisions. They understand you quite well. I mean, we spend a lot of time together, and so I got really great friends who are today, we're like a mentoring continuing, and they are amazing cheerleaders, both for when success and when you have difficulties, and that is it's not only you feel safe within this environment, and that also helps you explore and challenge yourself. So I think that is, the business side is great, but this group of friends, that will probably stay with me for, I hope, for many, many years to come. I think CC gives the opportunity, for sure, but it's not easy when you have a busy life. It's not always easy to participate, but I think I really have the opportunity since I live in Stockholm, and actually my office is not too far away from the school. But it tends to, with the traveling schedule, and so it's not so easy. But we are friends, so we meet socially. We also have reunions. And I think the school also initiated this and helped us on the path. So it helped us to become who we are as a team or as friends today. And I think it's very open. We can reach out to each other. It's not maybe with everybody, but with the ones that you're close. And of course, they're in a group of 50, it's hard to get everybody together. But these reunion things, also when people like our mentors and program managers or whatever their title is it also is sometimes included and involved. And I think it's also very interesting to get some of these academia side notes as well for us that are working in a more business environment. It was quite a wide range in ages and histories and cultures and jobs, and I think that was also that I probably didn't anticipate it, and I thought that was super. It gave me so much more back than I thought. I mean, I came there to learn accounting and finance, and I got so much more out of it. I work with products towards businesses, and I get quite sort of focused on that type of business-to-business behaviors. Some of the people came from a more end customer orientation, and that I think I lost that thoughts thought process a little bit, and especially one of the girls that I'm also really good friends with today. She's really amazing into marketing and profiling and how to build sort of a brands. And I think that is also something, that angle is probably one of the things that I didn't recognize as important as before, because you were thinking about the technology and and the IP that you're creating and selling. But I thought, that was something also that was that I learned a lot from. I would advise that you try to get some time to really work with the material and participate in the project workshops and not take the easy way out, because you put a lot of time and money to do this, and I think invested it fully, I think. And it's easy to say, and I probably didn't. I mean, I think I learned that through the program. And as the more I gave, the more I got back. And also when you to know the people and you learn the topics better, you also, of course, I think have more fun. So to have a lot of fun during the process, to network and go out with the team, people who came here, get to know their reality and their world. This is also, it's a take the opportunity. That's what I would say, probably.